Good morning, guys. Thanks for taking out the time of the day to come in and do this training class with us. This is going to be a very important class. It's going to help not only us here in New Orleans, but all of our team members throughout the company right here. So before we actually get started, we want to make sure that we're always following the federal, the state, and the local guidelines for protective equipment, which includes safety glasses, wearing gloves, and also including face masks. So as for Autochlor, we are asking that all our team members wear face masks while entering people's businesses, and always respect the businesses itself that says if they have a particular point of entrance and exit that's going in there like our nursing homes do because they need to check temperatures. So for the purpose of this class, I'm actually going to remove mine. If y'all would, please keep yours on through this class so that it can be heard a little bit better, not being muffled. Again, always remember your PPEs when you're out in the field. Always protect yourself and protecting others that were out there. So with that said, we're going to move on. What we're going to do is we're going to have a short discussion here about the opening procedures of restaurants, hotels, motels, nursing homes, healthcare facilities, laundries that's through there. So what this program is going to be designed to do is to help you communicate with your customers and help you understand the ins and outs of the new procedures now that has to go through with not only cleaning and sanitizing, but now with disinfecting that's going through. We actually have placards available. We're going to go through all the placards that are coming up. These placards are going to be available for you to hand to your customers or to give to them. Most of your facilities are going to have the guidelines from the federal, state, or local governments. We also have guidelines that we're looking at to help our customers to ensure that their opening procedures are actually going smoothly. That's there. Remember, we're the company that's always behind the scenes, but we're the ones that gives them the support and the guidance and the security that they're doing things correctly. We are the cleaning professionals that's there. So with that, because we're only there on an average of once every 28 days or once a period, is that we have some other guidelines that the customers can use as reference in between our times that's there. So with that, we have some checklists here to make sure that they go through to make sure that they have their food contact sanitation, they have their EPA approved products for disinfectings, their machine dish detergents, their wash manual detergents, and so forth. That it's just a checklist to make sure is everything in order before I reopen up that's there. So with this, one of the things that we're strongly urging you to do is go out and see every one of your customers. Contact them. Show up for a visit there that says, Mr. Customer, we're here for you. All the things that you've done in the past, you've done very well at it. You're cleaning your sanitation procedures. Those don't change. That's there. Now we just have some new additional guidelines for disinfecting that's there. And here's where we are to help make sure that you're set up and you're ready to give the confidence to your customers to come back into your places of business that's there. So we've created a checklist for you to help as a reminder to go through, and we have these placards available that you can put on the wall to help your employees understand, make sure that we are doing things according to the step-by-step procedures and we're not missing anything that's there. We also have flyers that you can hand out to your customers. So we have several different flyers. These are going to be printed out in color. Each one of them has specific origins of where they're going to. This one is for restaurant disinfecting and reopening. And again, these are just another quick guides that gives them an idea of tabletops, countertops, things that they need to be cleaning and sanitizing. Also by use of our Express, or whether it's DC33 or RoomSense 200, it also gives them instructions for there. So these are quick references, flyers that you can hand out for those customers. Once they start opening up and through that checklist, a little more details to it that says, you know, let's see what we have to do in the front of the house. What do we have to do in behind the house? Is our dish machines and our mop areas ready? Our manual wash, is all this in place and ready to go for us? In front of the house, we want to make sure again that we have our proper EPA disinfectant available. Are we ready to go with it? It's used to disinfect all non-porous type surfaces that's on there. And again, we take in consideration social distancing when they're cleaning this. And again, these are all recommendations that we help our customers with. It's in-service training that we provide. It's part of our service that's out for the customers. Yes, huh?
A lot of my customers use QA to sanitize. Is that okay?
Yeah, you know, that's a great question. A lot of our customers use QA that we use in the 3 compartments things to go out and they sanitize the tables with. Because of the new guidelines, now it has to be disinfected. If your customer has the QA Ultra, then they can still do that. Our recommendation is that they use the DC33. And the reason for it, again, is another product that is the EPA registered for these emerging pathogens. Also has slight detergency in it. It is designed as a sanitizer disinfectant hospital grade, so they can actually wipe their tables, clean, sand, and disinfect all in one sweep instead of a 2-step process. But that's a great question because a lot of customers are using QA for sanitizing tabletops. But now we have to take it a little step further. That's there. Back of the house, again, all touch points in back of the house. Make sure that those are being cleaned and sanitized on a regular basis. Food areas, storage shelves, again, all these need to be cleaned and sanitized. Periodically, they need to be wiping down their walls. Chemistry reminders. As customers have been closed down for a given period of time now through this pandemic, one of the things that we have to look at is to make sure that their chemicals are fresh. We also want to make sure that they understand, please do not mix chemicals that's there. Out of normal thought patterns that when things are thought to be more dirty or more, in this case, more germy, they're thinking more is better, and that's not really the case in here. So make sure that we emphasize to your customers, we have your set up as your cleaning, sanitizing, and disinfecting products. They're set up to the needs to meet the emerging pathogens through this. So those don't change. We'll make sure those are maintained for you. That's there. The ready-to-use products will already be pre-mixed. Our concentrated products will be put through our dispensers, and we will ensure that the proper settings are maintained to take care of cleaning, sanitizing, and disinfecting through this. So really important to emphasize to your customers, don't mix chemicals. Don't mix chemicals. Restarting the dish machine. This is another one that we want to reinforce to the customers. Your cleaning process for pre-rinsing dishes, glasses, silverware, running them through the dishwasher, the drying and storage, that doesn't change. Everything that you've been doing all this time is still the same. If you're using high temp, 180 plus degrees of sanitation in high temp dish machines, or if you're using low temp dish machines and using chemical sanitation, that still stays the same for sanitizing and disinfecting your dishes, silverware, and glasses. So again, in low temp machines, make sure that we're between 50 and 100 parts per million. In manual ware washing in 3 compartment sinks, again, they should be washing in water that's around 110 degrees. They have their rinse tank, and then they have their sanitizer tank. Again, QA works for this that's in here. Again, it's supposed to stay wet for 1 minute and using our normal ware washing, and it meets all the guidelines for cleaning and sanitizing dishware that's there. So reinforce to your customers, their cleaning procedures have been good. They don't need to change that. All we need to do is now we're adding to some things, and it's to adding the part of disinfectant. So all their normal stuff. If your customer has spray bottles and bottles already filled and they're just reopening, strongly suggest to them, or if you're in their service and doing a in-service for them, empty those bottles out and let's put fresh product in there. Because now those bottles might have been sitting for the last 2-3 months. So we want to make sure that we empty those bottles out and we refresh it that's there. The other thing that some of the customers also use, kind of regressing back just a little bit on the tabletops when you asked that, Roger, some of our customers use buckets and rags. And again, still acceptable, still perfectly acceptable. That's there. It's going to be our suggestion that if they are using these for disinfectant, that they change this out at least every 2 hours. Put fresh product in there. They're now going to be cleaning, disinfecting, and sanitizing the tables every time customers leave. That's there. So we want to make sure that they change these out at least a minimum every 2 hours, or more often if they deem necessary. That's there. Last area is dish and mop area. And again, this is a lot of times where we have our dispensers. Again, reassure the customers that we'll have the dispensers maintained. We maintain the dispensers on a regular basis as part of our service, and to make sure that the settings are correct and meet the EPA guidelines for their disinfecting needs. Just to recover this, and I know you've had this already, but just to kind of recover it, these are the 4 products that we're using as far as our EPA registrations for viral pathogens. These have all been approved. Yes, sir.
For the DC-33 and Express, is it absolutely necessary for the 10-minute wait time?
You know, that's actually a really good question too. So there's been a lot of misconceptions about that. One of the things that we do have to go by is what our EPA registrations require based on the testing procedures. So in cleaning, sanitizing, and disinfecting, it always goes back to the basic principles of cleaning: time, temperature, chemical, mechanical action, and procedure. It always goes back to that. That's there. So with that said, they do have to remain wet for 10 minutes. They do have to remain wet for 10 minutes. So when we're looking at these, they are designed to be food and non-food contact surfaces, especially for your restaurants. That's there. So one of the things to keep in mind, that if it's a non-food contact surface, then you can put it on, let it wet, wipe it down, and you can allow it to air dry. If it's a food contact surface, you have to let it sit, allow it to be wet for 10 minutes, and then it needs to be rinsed off with potable water on a food contact surface. Does everybody follow what we're saying? Difference between food contact and non-food contact. So if they're in the back doing cutting boards, or they're wiping down their slicers, things like that, they want to disinfect them, but they need to use clean potable water to wipe them down after the 10 minutes, and then they're ready to go again. This is another area that can help your customers. You know, nowadays, because of the environment we're in, people want documentation. They want to be able to have something in writing. They want to be able to back up what their claims are. And their biggest concerns is they want to make sure that their customers feel safe in coming back in. That's there. So one of the things that we do have is that on all our products, we actually have tech sheets. These are product slicks that are available that you can actually hand to your customers. So if they ever have questions about any of the products, whether they're cleaning products or whether they're the disinfectants that we're using, these give them an information about the product. And with that, every product tech sheet will also have directions of use. And if you give these to your customers, make sure that you point this out. If there's ever a question about the product, they always have a direction of use. Yeah, Brett?
Hey, one of my customers just asked me this yesterday. They wanted to know, would the DC-33 or RS-200 take the place of our floor cleaner, our floor break, or kitchen and concrete?
No, another really good question. It doesn't. So the simple answer is no, it don't. So, and again, reinforce to your customers, it says their normal cleaning procedure still stays the same. Even though these have a slight detergency in it, it's not going to be a cleaning product that is going to clean heavy grease off of floors. So if they're using floor break, or they're using a kitchen and concrete, or even if they're using FC46, the enzyme cleaners that's there, make sure that they understand that their cleaning stays the same. So one of the things here is that we're going to suggest, so that they can make a claim that they're being disinfected from floor to ceiling, is when they're finished at the end of the night, or first thing in the morning before everybody comes in, that they disinfect their floors. That way it has time to go on. It allows time to air dry. That's there. Now with that, customers generally going to mop product on that's there. So they're doing their floor break or kitchen and concrete or their FC46 and they're mopping it on. And using DC33 or RoomSense 200 is still acceptable. They can mop it on. But we also have another suggestion you can make to your customers. We use the pump sprayer, the pump foam sprayer. Again, we're using a lot of applications in our business for our customers. We put on GOK, we put in pizzazz. There's a lot of uses for this. One of the things that we actually found, and we have practiced and tested with this, is using a foam this way, is the customer actually saves a lot of products of filling up mop buckets. Here we can actually put it in, pump it up, and we can spray the floors with it, and then all they have to do is just take a clean mop and mop it around that's there. One of the nice things about a foam sprayer is that they not only can use it on the floors, if they want to use it on large countertops, tabletops, chairs, equipment, the dish machines, they can cover large areas very quickly that's there. What I'd like to do is actually show you how this works. So let's take a minute and let's walk next door to the training room, and we're going to demonstrate how to use this foam sprayer, and you can actually demonstrate it to the customers. All right, let's walk next door. All right, guys, what we're going to do is I just want to do a short demonstration right here on using a pump foam sprayer, because when we came up with this, and oddly enough, Joe Belusa, I'm saying that as a joke, Joe Belusa was the one that actually had thought about this to start with. So using a pump foam sprayer on the floors is actually a great idea. And again, as we emphasized in the classroom, is making sure that the customers know how to use it, the ease of using it that's there, and it really will save them a lot of chemical through this. So in the pump foam sprayer, again, we can just go to the fill stations, fill it up just like we do our quart bottles. From here, all we got to do is pump it up. The customer needs to open it up. Again, there's a tab here to release the pressure in there. But we pump the product up. And when they're using it on the floor, all they're doing is picking, and they're just basically spraying a pattern across their floors. Yes, sir.
Are the pump sprays going to be supplied, or are they going to be charged for?
Yeah, Rogers want to know, are they going to be supplied or they're going to pay for them? So these will be available for sale. So we're not going to just supply them to the customers. This is going to be a great recommendation for them that's there. Again, their cost savings is going to be in not filling up 3-gallon buckets that's there. Also on all the equipment, dish machines, this is a great product to just spray that's on there. Now, once it's sprayed on the floor, all a customer needs to do now is actually just take a clean mop and spread it around. And again, as we said in the classroom, either at the end of the night when they're leaving or first thing in the morning, first person comes in, they can go through, they mop the floors. This will dry within a matter of about 10, 12 minutes. And now the customer can actually say that, hey, we're cleaning and sanitizing, disinfecting floor to ceiling. Really simple, quick coverage.
So they can spray the walls with?
Sure can. Sure can. All right, so any questions on how to use it? All right, let's head back into the classroom and we'll finish our discussion on the reopening guides. All right, guys, what do you think about that demonstration using a foamer for your customers on their floors? That's there.
It looks like it's going to be a time saver.
Yeah, definitely going to be a time saver that's on there.
Convenience, looks like it's very convenient.
Yeah, because it can be used for multiple things, so it's really going to be convenient that's in there, and it's going to save the customer a lot of chemical by filling up 3 gallons of mop bucket water versus, you know, a quart and a half of product that can go a lot further. And not only that, because it's a foam sprayer, it's going to get into all the nooks and crannies.
I have a question. Many customers have sanitizers and some have disinfectants.
Okay.
Is there really a difference between sanitizing and disinfecting?
Okay, so Charles wanting to know is a lot of the customers are either sanitizer or disinfectant, and what is the actual difference between that? There is a difference between cleaning, sanitizing, and disinfecting. So here's a guide that the CDC goes by. And again, that's kind of what everything's being regulated by now, what the CDC's guidelines are coming out with through this pandemic. So cleaning is actually using a soap and water that helps remove or reduce the number of germs that are on a surface, whether it's dirt or impurities, it's removing those germs that's off of there. So soap and water, no different than washing your hands, is the best way to get things going, cleaning, that's there. The next step is actually sanitizing. Sanitizing lowers the number of germs or bacteria that's on a surface. So by using a sanitizer after we've cleaned it, and again, we can't skip the procedures of cleaning, this actually starts lowering the number of germs and bacteria that are on that given surface. Now, disinfectant takes that next step that's there. And again, this is where we're at during all this coronavirus that's here, because we need to disinfect. So disinfecting actually works by using chemicals to kill the germs. And again, this is why we're going to that next step. We're not only cleaning and reducing the amount of germs and bacteria that's on a surface, disinfecting is now actually killing what's there. It's there. So, in basically summing it up, cleaning removes germs, sanitizing lowers the number of germs, and disinfecting kills the germs.
One more thing. I know we have a lot of customers that use our enzymes cleaners to take care of their floors, make sure they emulsify the grease and get it down the drain. By coming back behind it with the DC-33, will that harm or kill the enzymes or lessen their effect?
You know, that's another good question. Charles wanting to know, customers that are using our enzyme floor cleaners like FC46, you know, these are really good products. Again, no different than floor break or kitchen and concrete. We don't change the cleaning procedures that's there. The good part is the only thing that really kills or disables enzymes is high temperatures, high pHs, and sequestering agents. Those are basically the only things that do. So using DC-33 or RoomSense 200 is actually not going to disable the enzyme products that you're using that's there. So your customers still get the benefits from it, and the products are designed, it's not going to disable the enzymes. So again, another good question for customers that's doing. And again, those are things that you don't have to wait for customers to ask you when you're talking to them. If you know they're using these type of things, reassure them that says your cleaning procedures using our enzyme floor cleaners. The nice thing about our EPA products, it's not going to harm these enzymes. They're still going to be able to do their job. So kind of moving on through this, and again, what we're going to do right now is just kind of go through some of the handouts and some of the wall placards that we're going to have available for the customers. One of the things that we definitely want to re-emphasize to you here is, when you're out visiting the customers, and we have customers out there that's only has the dish machine, or they're only using the dish machine and a 3-compartment sink that's there. This is a perfect opportunity to go in and offer a complete cleaning, sanitizing, and disinfecting program. It's the one-stop shop. We can provide all the products, and no different than anything we've done through our history, that we provide the products, provide the service that goes with those products. We're here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's there. And emphasize to your customer, we're here for your support. We're your backup. If you have a question, you have a need, we're there to be for you. So again, these are other flyers that also breaks down areas to be used and clean and disinfect. This one is for your hotels and your guest rooms. We have another one that actually works on the healthcare and guest rooms. And again, nursing homes is a very large part of our business that's there. And again, I know we've already stated this, but make sure that we follow our customer's request that's there. If they have a particular point of entrance and exit, we're so used to just going behind the house, coming in the back door, and doing our thing, because that's what we do. We're that company that's behind the scenes. You rarely ever see us, but we're also that company for that customer that says, Mr. Customer, we got this. You take care of your business and your customers, we got you back here. This is what we do. Out of habits, now we got to make sure that what the customer's request is, if they want one point of entrance of everybody coming in and out, if they want to check your temperature 10 times a day, then let's follow the guidelines of what the customer's doing. And again, always make sure that we're wearing our PPEs that's there. Laundry rooms. Again, another area of high touch contact in the laundry rooms. The washing machines, the start buttons, the doors that are in there, the carts they're using, the tables they're leaning on. Again, all high touch points. So again, emphasize to your laundries, it's not only washing in the laundry that's cleaning. And again, according to the CDC guidelines, our normal wash processes of using alkali detergents, our bleaches, our sours, time, temperature, chemical, mechanical action cleans and meets the guidelines for this pandemic for laundry. So emphasize to your laundries, outside of that, we still got to make sure we're disinfecting, because it's what's coming out of that laundry now that people now have to touch the linen, fold it, to make sure everything is still staying sanitized and disinfected. Going through some of the wall placards, these are new ones that are coming out. They'll be in each of the branches, and they'll be available for your customers. These are all 8x10s. They will be printed and laminated. These can be used for your customers. Again, we started out with, you should always be in contact with your customers. We're strongly urging that you contact every one of your customers right now through this. This is the perfect opportunity to keep that relationship and that partnership open with your customers. Get out in front of them. Let them know that you're there. We're here to support you. This is what we're doing. Gentlemen, we really appreciate you coming in and taking your time out of your day. And let's go out there, let's meet our customers, let's keep them relationships going, and let's move forward through all this to get back to our new norm that's going to be out there. Have a great day.